Hello there. Don't I have some special treats for you today? Enjoy. So this happened yesterday and I'm still kinda pissed about it. The stupidity of some of the people I come across at work could give anyone a migraine. Yesterday, I added yet another person to my list of idiot customers that I've seen at work. A bit of background information: I'm a cashier/stocker at a local grocery store in my town. Due to us being an essential establishment, we've been able to stay open. The problem is, the store doesn't provide us employees with much to protect ourselves. The best they've been able to give us is disposable gloves, which I suppose is still better than nothing. Still, I live with my 60-year-old mom and I don't want to bring home anything from work that might put her at risk. I voiced these concerns to a friend of mine who makes masks and she happily made one for me. I've been wearing it to every one of my shifts and I've received many comments from people asking me where I got it. Once I explained to them that a friend made it for me, they usually drop the subject. Until yesterday, that is. Here's the cast: me equals me, M equals entitled mom, M equals manager. So there I was, standing in my lane and watching the clock slowly tick by. I had already had some particularly infuriating customers before M showed up, so I was more than ready for my shift to be over. I see M approaching from a distance and suspect nothing of her, for she doesn't hold the trademark appearance of your typically Karen. Oh, how naive I was. M pushes her cart through my lane. And I plaster a forced smile on my face and switch into customer service mode. We make small polite conversation and she seems nice enough. But then, she asked me the fateful question that started this whole debacle. M, so where did you get your mask? Me, oh, a friend made it for me. M, well, it's very pretty. Looks well made too. It is a pretty mask. A sky blue fabric decorated with red roses. My friend knows me well. Me, yeah, my friend has made a lot of masks, so she's pretty good at it. M then gestures to her daughter who is sitting in the cart playing on some kind of tablet. M, I wish I could find a mask for my daughter. I wouldn't want her catching anything. Me, I'm sure you can find someone in your neighborhood who makes them. Or you could try and make one yourself. They're pretty easy to make. And then M says this: M, I don't suppose you could just give me yours? I'm a bit taken aback by this question and move away from her a couple inches. Me, I'm sorry but I'm gonna have to say no. I need this mask for my job. M, well, can't you just get your friend to make you another one? Me, she's very backed up on orders from people asking her to make masks for them. Besides, I've been wearing this mask all day. It's full of my germs. M, oh, I can just wash it when I get home. Me, I'm sorry, but I'm not giving you my mask. I need it to keep me and my family safe. M has started sounding like your average Karen at this point. It's also worth noting that she kept slowly inching towards me during this exchange. As we kept going back and forth with her saying that her daughter absolutely needs it and me saying that I need it because I'm an essential worker, she kept getting louder and louder to the point where one of my managers noticed us and was watching the exchange. After another minute or so of going back and forth, M suddenly lunges forward and tries to grab at my mask. I am able to move my head way back and avoid her, but her fingers almost graze the fabric. That was enough for the manager to step forward and put a stop to her antics. M, ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. M, but this woman just stole my daughter's mask. My daughter needs it. M, ma'am, I was watching the whole exchange and I know that that's not true. Leave now before I call the police. At the mention of getting the cops involved, M realized that she could easily get arrested since we also have cameras over all of the check stands. She lifts her daughter out of the cart and leaves in a huff with no groceries and no mask. Thank God for my vigilant manager. So here's a quick one that happened to me at the beginning of quarantine, right when all the rushes on the supermarket started and the paper goods started vanishing. I got a phone call from my mother at like 7 a.m. telling me to switch on the news and that I should probably run to the store now. I look in my storage closet. One roll of TP left. Well, crap, okay, guess I have to go. So I get to the first store, they have the groceries I need but no TP. Go to the second store, nada. A third store, nada. Finally I get on the highway and drive 30 minutes upstate. There on the shelves, under the red glow of the giant bullseye, are 427 packs of TP. The only packs in the store. The only packs within miles. I've struck gold, folks. Curiously, there were several shoppers with carts, I only needed the one thing, so I didn't take a cart, just sort of, I don't know, patrolling, if you will. As if they were in a slight orbit around these TP packages, with one eye looking out front and the other trained on the shelf. I got the feeling that no one wanted to be the first to make a grab for the TP. Well, let me tell you, I grabbed one of those packs so fast it was like lightning. Faster than a speeding bullet. Deadlier than the strike of the mantis shrimp. I like to wipe my bum, folks. So now I've got my TP in hand, white knuckles like you wouldn't believe, and I go to make a hasty beeline for the checkout. Immediately, one of the orbital shoppers, an early middle-aged woman with a half-full cart, starts chasing me, all the while shouting, "Hey! I need those. I have children. I need those. Don't ignore me, you duck. You don't need those. I have children." I don't know what it is with people like this, but they only seem to want things that other people have. You see, despite the fact that there were 3 unclaimed 27 packs of TP on the shelf, none of those other shoppers made a move. This woman had to have mine. Because I guess the idea that a single man could be buying TP when her children need IT ground her gears that much? I mean, how did she know I didn't have 13 good Christian children of my own back home? I don't. But the point still stands. Anyway, I'm still moving toward the register. It's all the way across the store, and she's still hootin' and hollerin' at me with the "I have kids." And the "stop ignoring me," while following about 10 feet behind and closing. Finally, I've had enough. I turn and, loudly enough for half the store to hear, shout the first thing that popped into my head. I have diarrhea. Well, let me tell you, she came to a wide eyes, screeching halt. Without a word, she turned around and went straight back from whence she came. I managed to get to the register without further incident. In fact, after my announcement, just about everybody was keeping their distance. I checked out, ran to my car clutching that package like it was the Ark of the Covenant, and headed home to deal with my non-existent diarrhea. Imagine my shock when I got home to find my roommate proudly displaying the TP he had managed to find just 10 minutes from our apartment. On his first try. I was going my usual thing, working the electronics section at my job, helping customers as best I could and doing my best not to get fired for being on my phone. When this mom and her daughter came up asking to get one of the few Nintendo Switches we had left along with a copy of Animal Crossing. I pulled it out for them and brought them to the register, and the total came out to just under $400. The mother, henceforth to be referred to as M, hands me 4 $100 bills, and this is where the problem started. Recently the store I work at had a massive issue with counterfeit bills, so now the new store policy is to run any bill over $20 through this machine that will test it and determine if it's legitimate or not. In the event that the machine determines them to be fake, we're ordered to call a manager down right away, and under no circumstances are we to give the money back. I already had some small red flags going off since these bills felt way too much like regular paper. But when I started to run the bills through the machine, M started demanding to know what I was doing, which set off another red flag in my brain. I let her know what I was doing, and she got very defensive right away, telling me how the bills were real and how she had just picked them up from the bank. When I told her that it was the store policy, she got very irritated and told me to hurry up and looked really jumpy, just constantly looking around and swaying back and forth like she was on something. I ended up running all the bills at least 5 times each, and every time the machine said they failed whatever authenticity check it ran on them. At that point I start following store policy and call the manager down, while trying to play it off like it's just a simple glitch we needed fixed. I guess she got spooked by that, because she immediately demanded I give her her money back, saying how she'll go somewhere else. When I told her I couldn't, she went into full Karen meltdown mode, pulling out her phone to record me, demanding to tell her my full name, and worst of all kept insinuating that I was treating her this way because she was a person of color. For whatever reason the manager was taking forever to come down, and things were only getting worse as M continued to make more of a scene, when out of nowhere she tried reaching over the counter to grab the switch. I managed to pull it out of her reach just in time, and got on the walkie to call security, when all of a sudden she spits in my face, calls me a runt, and then storms out of the store with her kid, who was screaming and crying. Maybe 5 minutes later the manager comes down and I get to explain what happened. He ran the bills through the machine and got the same result of all of them failing, and maybe a half an hour later I was giving a statement to some rather disinterested looking cops. I called my boss after that, and she said I could go home a few hours early if I wanted to, which I took her up on. I got home, Took a couple showers and thought I'd share how my poopy day went. What did you think? What would you have done differently? Share your opinions in the comments. And if you enjoyed the stories, slap that like and subscribe button for more of them, and don't forget to support the original writers with an upvote. Links are in the description. Peace out, and catch you tomorrow.